Hi, welcome back. That doesn't make any sense. Hi, welcome back or welcome to, I don't know. My name's Georgie, if you don't know. Welcome to the channel. Make sure to subscribe, it's a really fun time. It will be once I start posting more, which is right now, so you should definitely subscribe. I pretty much talk about anything and everything on this channel, even though I never post, so I talk about nothing pretty much. Anyway, let's get into the point of the video. I'm sorry that the lighting's so bad. A couple little things to say at the beginning. This is going to be, as you can see by the title, the books that I read in January and my review on whether I think you should read them. Step one, don't have any of the books, the physical copies of the books here. That is because I'm moving. That's also why I have like things everywhere, and my bed is like a blow up on a double frame. Sorry. So I'm moving houses, so I don't have any of the physical copies of the books because I couldn't bring that many books with me. Oh, let me turn the fan off because you're probably annoyed by it. I will now just sweat, but that's showbiz. Things I do for this channel. Okay. Oh my god, it's already so much hotter. Also, I'm breaking out around my mouth. Let's ignore it. Don't speak about it. Don't do it. I don't want to hear a single comment about it. Otherwise I'll cry. No, I probably won't cry. Anyway, let's move on, shall we? So, I'm going to be talking about books, which is really what I love doing. I talk about books every single day of my life, so I would like to do it a bit more on this channel. So I'm going to start doing it a bit more, as well as reacting to albums and stuff. I have quite a few videos coming up because a lot of people really like those videos. So stay tuned for that. That will happen, don't worry, don't stress. Yeah, there's gonna be lots coming, so make sure to subscribe, and without further ado, let's get right into it with the first book that I read. So the first book that I read that I didn't have a physical copy of is Wuthering Heights by Charlotte Bronte or Emily. It's one of the Brontes. I'm gonna say Emily. Also, the lighting's so bad, I'm sorry. There's a skylight above me and the sun keeps changing. So see, it's getting darker. What are you doing? Cool, cute. We're in like complete darkness, dude. Okay, I'll fix the lighting for the next. Oh my god, literally. Look how dark that is. There's no way. It has been full sun, and the moment I start this video, into darkness we go. Okay, we're just going into the darkness. If you can't deal with that, this is an immersive experience. Emily. I thought it was Emily. I don't know if I said Emily, but Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. Now, I'm gonna be completely honest, as I usually am on this channel. I didn't love it. I thought that the writing was incredible. It's a very well-known story. It's a very well-known classic. So if you want to, you know, have read all the classics, I kind of like reading classics because even though they annoy me because they take so long to get to the point, they're always usually well written, and at least I can say that I've read them and I can say whether I like them or not and compare them to writing now. So I really like reading classics. It's something that I've done since I was little. So I did want to read this one because I wanted to experience it, and it's referenced a lot in other things, which a lot of classics are. A lot of classics are referenced in other things, so that's another plus to reading classics. Sun's coming back out, so it's about to get bright. Can't wait. So I enjoyed it. It was very well written. But I hated all of the characters. I thought all of the characters were really, really awful. And so I wasn't that invested in the storyline. I don't know if that's a spoiler, it's not really. But from here on out, there'll be spoilers. So just like, you know, just letting you know. Oh, no, there won't be. I don't know. But I just felt like there were no characters that I really cared about because I didn't feel like any of the characters had any redeeming qualities at all. So it was a story that was quite slow for me. However, don't let that influence you. It took me maybe like 2 weeks to read it, I think. I started it in 2022, in like the end of December, and I finished it like the 1st or 2nd of January. So it took me like 2 weeks to read it. It was good, I'm happy I read it. I now know the story, and when someone references it or listens to that Kate Bush song that now haunts my nightmares, I know what it's about, but I didn't love it. However, you make your own decisions. Don't be influenced by me. So that's the first book that I read. The next book that I read was It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover, which I will say was another one that I was just like, I've never fully loved Colleen Hoover books. They're okay. They're an easy read for me, so I like to read them and, you know, see what they're like. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. It was more of like I read the first book and I was just curious to see where the story would go in the second one. And it was pretty okay. If you liked the first one, I think you really like the second one because it's kind of a similar writing style and similar storyline. It's very real. So it was good. It took me like a day or a day and a half, I think. Maybe 2 days to read. So it was an easy read for me. It was good. No harm, no foul. I like Colleen Hoover. I follow her on TikTok, so I think she's, you know, a lovely person. I don't love her books, but that's right. That's cool. So yeah, I read that. The next one I read was The Secret History by Donna Tartt. Oh, if I'm going to recommend any of the books in this video, it's this one. It's this one right now. I think that this is a classic, even though it wasn't written that long ago. I think it should be a classic. I think it will be a classic in years to come. It's a very weird story. To give you like an overall without spoiling any of it, it's a upper class college in Vermont, I believe, in America. And it kind of just tells the story of this super exclusive class at this university. It kind of tells their adventures, and it's a very ominous story, I think. Like, there are definitely some darker themes. As the sun goes down and we get cast into darkness, it can be quite dark at times. Not quite dark, but it can be dark. It's a weird kind of story, but it was really, really intriguing from the beginning to the end. I loved Donna Tartt's writing style. I think that's her name. I hope so. God, if I'm butchering it, I'm so sorry. But I loved her writing style. I thought the way that she wrote the book and the way that everything unfolded, it was incredible. I really liked it because there was kind of, you know, flashbacks, jumping forward, jumping back throughout the whole book. And I think that it was really cleverly done, the way that she wrote it. It's one of those books where you kind of don't know how you're feeling about it until the end. And then it's over and you're like, oh, it's over. I really enjoyed that. That was really good. And then you get kind of connected to the characters in a weird way because it's a weird story. I don't want to spoil it too much, but I would highly recommend it because I think that book was really, really good. And by the end of it, I was like, oh, that was so good. So that's definitely on my top list at the moment. So yeah, read that. That took probably like 4 or 5 days, I think that was about 4 or 5 days for me to read. It's quite long. I think it's like 500 pages. But don't let that deter you because it's a good book. And just read like, you know, a chapter a night or 10 pages every night, whatever you want. It's a good book. I would highly recommend it. I haven't been rating these books. Should I rate these books? Okay, I'll rate them. Wuthering Heights out of 10, because 5, I feel like 5 is, books are so dense. There's too much to them to, I think, rate them out of 5. I think that's too small a scale. So I'm gonna go out of 10. I'm gonna go out of 25. No, just 10. We're just going normal, 10. I think Wuthering Heights, I gave it like a 5. See, writing value, I gave it like a 7 or an 8. But character likability, I give it a 2. So I think we'll go around 5 in terms of all around liking it. Also, tell me your experience. Maybe, I know a lot of people really enjoy it, so tell me what you think about the book if you've read it. And if you haven't, read it and then comment down below what you think. It Starts With Us, I'd probably give it a 4. A solid 4. That was fine. I feel like that's too harsh. No, a solid 4. It was fine. Secret History, I'd give a solid 8. 8.5. I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. Yeah, 8. Okay, the next book that I read was called A Touch of Darkness. I can't remember the author, but I will have it up here. I picked it up because, if you don't know, I am a big lover of Greek mythology. I did Extension 1 English in high school, and our subject was Greek mythology, and so we read a lot of books relating to Greek mythology. We read the Odyssey and a bunch of retellings, and I just became completely obsessed. And if you don't know already, I think I've already mentioned it, but The Song of Achilles is like one of my favorite books of all time. So I picked this one up, and I also love, oh, look at the light. Look at what the light's doing now. Let there be light. Okay, well, let's continue. And if you don't know, I also love fantasy books, and so I read a lot of like enemies to lovers, that kind of trope. And so when I picked this one up, it said it was based off of Hades and Persephone, but it was a retelling into a fantasy book that had the enemies to lovers trope. And I was like, say less. And it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I think there's a second book. I really enjoyed it. It was a classic enemies to lovers trope. It was, you know, if you like Greek mythology, I think that the way that the author explored the gods and all the different realms and, you know, how it all fit into the story, I think that was really interesting. And I really liked it. It was fun. It had some cute little moments. It had a lot of enemies to lovers bits, which, you know, love it. It was just a classic fantasy book. So I really enjoyed it. I'm not sure if it's one that I would want to read like the whole series on. I think there might be a second one coming. But I enjoyed it for what it was. I had a very fun time reading it. It was good. So I'd probably give it like a 7 out of 10. I enjoyed it. It was fun. So if you're like, you know, if you think you like Greek mythology, if you think you like a bit of fantasy, if you're not sure, read it. See how you go. I really enjoyed it. Okay, so that video was like a complete mess from beginning to end. And my phone kept dying. Oh, sorry, there's some photos. My phone kept dying, so I couldn't finish the rest of it. But I'm just gonna finish it here, and this is gonna be the end of the video. And I'm so sorry that it's horrible. We're in darkness. I'm sick. This is me editing, and I just needed to come in and say something because that Georgina doing the little video right now doesn't understand that I'm not including a video that she thought I was including. So the last book that I read was My Year of Rest and Relaxation by, I put the author's name, I think it's Otessa, I think that's how I say her name, and I put that in the next clip. But basically I'm just talking about how I enjoyed it. However, the author's writing style, it was a lot of list making, so it would be like, I did this, then this, then this, then this, then this, then this, then this, and that kind of, I didn't enjoy that style as much as I enjoy other styles of writing. So that's pretty much what the gist of where I'm going, and then previous Georgina will continue it on. I just wanted to say that so there wasn't any confusion. Thank you so much. Sorry this video is so chaotic. Bye. But basically what I was saying about My Year of Rest and Relaxation was I enjoyed it, but the way that the author wrote it, there was a lot of lists, and that kind of got a little bit too much for me, and it kind of, in my opinion, dragged away from the story a little bit, so I couldn't enjoy it. So I probably gave that one maybe like a 6 out of 10, I think. But again, make your own decisions about it. You should definitely read it because it is a good book, and I have heard a lot of people say that they really enjoy it. So I think it's just personal preference on writing style. But yeah, so that's all the books that I read in January. Hopefully there'll be more in February. Sorry about all the technical difficulties, but I hope you enjoy, and let me know if you ended up reading any of the books, and then come back and comment what you thought of them, because I am really interested to know, and I love when people read books that I recommend for them. So yeah, and there'll be lots of videos coming soon, so stay tuned for that because it'll be very exciting. All right, bye.